Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. Boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Hey, yo, hold your horses. Stop taking it to the stupid, man. Vergil, Ortiz, and Jaron, Ennis. Look, man, somebody just tell me you're scared without telling me you're scared. Because at this point, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm tired of the bullshit, man. These guys are going to fight or not. Because this thing about money, I get it. It's all about the Wu-Tang cream, cha-ching ching, dollar bill, y'all. Everybody deserves to get paid. I agree. But, you know, I don't know about all this shit with De La Hoya. Talking about Vergil Ortiz deserves 60%. Jaron Ennis take 40%. I think Oscar De La Hoya is delusional. This is no 60-40 fight. He's pushing for that because he doesn't want the fight to happen. And then if the fight does happen, if Jaron Ennis calls his bluff, say, yeah, I'll take it. He's pushing for that so he can make sure his guy gets paid the kind of money to where it's worth the risk. But I'll be honest, I don't understand. If Turki Al-Sheikh is putting the money up, why are we talking about purse splits? Because Turki Al-Sheikh, you negotiate with him directly, and whatever you negotiate is what you get. There is no Turki Al-Sheikh has, let's say, $10 million, and then now he's going to decide out of this 10, I'm good. What did you guys agree on? Who's going to get what percentages? Turki Al-Sheikh, he kills all that. That's why Turki Al-Sheikh gets deals done like that. But I mean like that, I'm talking about then 5 minutes, an hour of talking, 20 minutes of talking. Turki Al-Sheikh don't play. What do you want? I was thinking 10 million, I don't know. Okay, I'll give you 15 million. Okay, done, sign. He don't play. So I'm not sure what Oscar De La Hoya is talking this percentage shit because that just makes no sense to me. So I think Oscar De La Hoya is delusional. I don't think deep down he really wants Vergil to get in there. Because let's be honest, who do y'all think wins that fight? Forget if you, support black fighters, you support Mexican fighters. Let's just talk fighters. For once, let's take the race out the bullshit, right? The ethnicity, whatever. It doesn't matter where you're from, right? Let's just talk boxing. Who do you think wins that fight? Y'all really think Vergil Ortiz will beat Jaron Ennis? Vergil Ortiz can fight. I like Vergil Ortiz. I'm telling you he can fight. I just don't see him beating no damn Jaron Ennis. At all. The other day a guy was talking about, oh man, well, what's his name? Erickson Lubin. You saw what Vergil did to him. So now we're going to sit here, man, and put Erickson Lubin and Jaron Ennis. We're going to put them both in the same box. You know what I'm saying? Is this what we're doing? Now, Lubin can fight. I like Lubin. I truly felt Lubin was going to give Vergil Ortiz a tough fight, but Lubin obviously there's something that's not left there. Because I sure as hell thought he was going to be able to do the business against Vergil. But again, you got to give Vergil credit, and then you got to recognize that Lubin just isn't the same. But at the end of the day, Vergil Ortiz did what he was supposed to do with a guy who's not supposed to be in the ring with him. He put the Mexican beans on him. But let's just break this down cleanly, logically, right? And just talk about how boxing actually works. And then how some fighters feel it should work. Now, what purse splits are really based on, look, fights are not, with these guys, Turki Al-Sheikh should be handling. But normally fight purses aren't about who hits harder, who looks scary, who has more potential, who your promoter likes more. That's normally not how this works. They're based on revenue generation, star power, market value, risk versus reward, negotiation, leverage. And right now, Jaron Ennis, he controls more leverage than Vergil Ortiz. People don't want to understand it. They don't want to accept that. But it's the truth. Vergil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis is the man. Jaron Ennis' name rings from all corners of the damn earth. Everyone knows about this Jaron. Vergil Ortiz, they know, they heard about him, but I don't think he has a bigger profile, a bigger footprint in boxing than Jaron Ennis. You got to understand Jaron Ennis and his position in the boxing marketplace. He is that guy that many have picked. He already was doing a business at 147. He's at 154. They expect him to dominate there. They expect him to go and dominate 160. They feel Jaron Ennis is that guy, the next Roy Jones Jr., the guy to succeed Terrence Crawford. And when you watch him fight in the ring, it's hard to not understand that why he's received that designation. Now, for Jaron Boots Ennis, widely viewed as the best 154 pounder in the world, and the guy, like I said, to go on to succeed Terrence Crawford. You know, he's a world champion now, has already unified credibility by beating elite level opposition, has a higher international recognition than Vergil Ortiz, and is seen as the A side by networks and fans alike. And this is why, if for some reason Turki Al-Sheikh says, I'm not putting the money up, this fight between him and Vergil Ortiz won't get made because of De La Hoya. Because De La Hoya doesn't want Jaron Boots Ennis ahead in negotiations. He doesn't want that. He wants his guy to be ahead. He wants his guy to be the A side, even though it's not reality. Now, Vergil Ortiz, he has talent, but it's just about understanding that talent versus business argument. Let's be clear. Vergil Ortiz is a monster talent. I'm telling you, he gets busy. You know what I'm saying? He can really fight. No one is doubting that. But when it comes to the business, I mean, let's say fight in Texas, but still, those long layoffs, those health issues, although he's come back at 154, I think the Marjamov win, he doesn't really get much credit for that win because he was losing that fight and Marjamov just got tired because he was coming off of bronchitis. Most people felt he lost to, what's his name? Bohachuk. I'm telling you, I felt he lost that fight. He lost that fight. I don't care what no one says. And then with Erickson Lubin, they're like, how much was really left in Erickson Lubin's gas tank? But I'm giving Vergil credit for all of his wins because he got the wins. But still, if I'm going to sit here and have a discussion about it, then I'm going to tell you the only one that I think he deserves real credit for is Lubin. But the other two, you know, if I want to be petty, I would sit here and argue that. I don't know if I can give him credit for those wins. But one thing I do give him credit for is durability at an elite level and his ability to push the pace, a championship pace at the elite level. But I'm not so sure his pay-per-view drawing power is great. I don't know how great Jaron Boots Ennis is, but I kind of think Jaron's pay-per-view drawing power is better than Vergil's. But some people will say, see, it's kind of hard because when people say Vergil's unproven against elite opposition, I don't know about that. Because at the end of the day, whether you agree or not, he has wins against Bohachuk, wins against Marjamov, and then he beat Lubin. You know, it doesn't matter what you think, what I think when we start having the discussions and getting petty and trying to break shit down. The bottom line is Ortiz has done the business. Okay, he got the wins. But 60% doesn't make any sense. To give Vergil Ortiz 60% would suggest he's a much bigger star. I don't believe that. He brings more viewers. I don't know. That's kind of a tough one to say because, you know, when you hear the Mexican horns going off, and they got old Tio up in the living room with the dancing horse and shit. People tune in, man. But I don't know. Does he have more negotiating leverage? I don't think all of those things are true. I think in reality, a fair split to me, I think 50-50. That's just me. But if it's going to be 60-40, get that shit to Boots. Maybe 65-35. But 50-50, I think is fair. I really do, man. But anything outside of that shit is fantasy, man. So, is Vergil Ortiz afraid? Hell no. I don't think it's him. I think it's De La Hoya. Vergil Ortiz will fight anybody. And that's why you can't stand to see these promoters like De La Hoya and Eddie Hearn do this promoter posturing, these different tactics, you know what I'm saying? Attempting to inflate the value publicly. This is all, just a bit of gamesmanship and a little promoted tactics to try to, push the envelope and edge things in their favor. But I don't know if he's going to be able to shift public perception. But I tell you what, as far as Jaron and his side, they're not going to blink. This shit is business chess, not boxing fair. And Eddie Hearn, he is more than prepared and qualified to get into a game of business chess. No one in the game does it better than Eddie, man. But for people saying Ortiz is scared, that's why they want 60-40, that man ain't scared. I just think it's De La Hoya, and De La Hoya is not being realistic. But Oscar's just doing what promoters do. They want to oversell, they want to anchor negotiations high, they want to talk loud in public, apply pressure to the media. But realism matters, man. Saying Vergil deserves 60%, that shit's not negotiating. It's detaching from reality. But you got to really stop and ask the question. What does this say about the fight itself? It says that these purse demands hurt the chances of the fight even happening, and I don't think, again, I'm saying, I don't think De La Hoya wants the fight to happen. Boots doesn't need Ortiz. Ortiz, I think he may need Boots more than Boots needs him. Boots has Eddie, and he got Turkey Al-Sheikh, on his side. A lot of people don't like De La Hoya, but Boots is in a good position, man. There's so many guys out there for him to fight. It's just the Ortiz fight is the one that's been building, and everybody wants to see it now. But deep down, Boots doesn't need him. He can go do something else. Boots is a goddamn star, man. I think Ortiz needs Boots more than the reverse. Fans already believe Boots is elite. And I think if Vergil could fight and beat Boots, this would be his signature win. The Majumar Bohachuk, those are wins, but that's not it. If he can somehow beat Boots Ennis, that is the win that Vergil wants and he needs, but De La Hoya's not going to do that. So if the fight dies out, I'll put it to you this way, Vergil's going to lose more momentum than Jaron Boots Ennis. That's a fact, But that's just the real truth that nobody wants to say. That when you look at it, Vergil Ortiz is being treated like an undefeated killer who hasn't cashed the checks yet. And Boots is being treated like the guy you paid because he already arrived. The difference is everything, when it comes to this, evolves around boxing economics. Both of these guys are great fighters. No one is scared, but it's just boxing economics, you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, De La Hoya, delusional, from a business standpoint, hell yeah. Does Vergil Ortiz deserve 60%? I'll put it to you this way. All these fighters deserve gazillions and gazillions of dollars. They get in the ring and risk their lives for our entertainment. They deserve it. But does he deserve 60% and Boots deserve 40%? Absolutely not. So is this about fear? Nah, it's leverage. It's not nerves. It's De La Hoya doing what he does. Promoter posturing bullshit. Will this delay or kill the fight? If Oscar doesn't come back to reality, hell yeah, it's going to kill the fight. I personally think the fight's barely hanging on, barely got a pulse. That's just me. So Eddie Hearn to me needs to do what he needs to do. But I really, Turkey Al-Sheikh needs to get involved and just say, what do you want? Yes, no, I'll give you this, take it or leave it, shut up. What do you want? No, yes, no, I'll give you this, take it or leave it, or shut up. I think that's what needs to happen. Turkey Al-Sheikh needs to get in there and put a little bit of belt to ass, you know what I'm saying? Fur. Anyway, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans on 7 continents. De La Hoya need to stop with the bullshit. Go ahead and make the goddamn fight. Like, this is the fight we want. But if it ain't gonna happen, it hurts Vergil more than it hurts Boots. I'll tell you that much. Keep cool in the breeze.